So many jobs now. I'd like to welcome each of you to the Tuesday, September 8th, 2020 City Council meeting. I'll ask you to rise if you would like to join us with us with the pledge and the invocation. And I'm going to ask Councilman Caldwell to lead us in the invocation.
I'm the new chaplain.
You doing good.
I'm the old chaplain. Let us pray. Father God, come to you now. Give this say thank you for allowing us to convene in the best interest of the citizens of Hartsville. Father God, continue to keep your loving arms wrapped around us in the eyes of this uncertainty. In your name, pray. Amen.
Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Item 3 on the agenda is a motion to waive reading of and approve the minutes of the August 11th, 2020 regular City Council meeting. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. Minutes are approved. Before we get into our presentations, I'd like to welcome and ask Dr. Harder to come forward. She is our new Coker University president. And we were talking a few minutes before the meeting started and saying that Mr. Andrews was a Coker grad way back in the middle of the 20th century, I think. But anyway, we're proud Coker to be in the community, and we want Hartsville to become more of a college town. Dr. Harder, the floor is yours.
Thank you so very much for allowing me to say a few words. I just wanted to say hello to everybody. If you haven't met me, again, I'm Natalie Harder. I've been in the job for about 3 months. Very exciting time, as all of us know. I just wanted to first of all thank the council for everything it does, and to tell you that your mask ordinance matters. It was very helpful in encouraging our students to learn the protocol of grabbing their masks before they're on their way out the door in their dorms or wherever. And if you've watched and read some of the news articles lately, communities with mask ordinances have lower infection rates. And I'm telling you, I watch my students. They leave the campus with their masks on and they come back with it on. So thank you very much for that progressive thinking. Also want to encourage you and anybody in this room, I want to strengthen the ties between the university and the community. I've had a number of community folks come to me with specific ideas. A lot of them are social, so we'll have to get, hopefully in the spring be better about that. But if there's other ways that we can help you or support you, or you've got an idea you want to share, we are so open to any ways that we can build more relationship with the greater Hartsville area. We're excited to be back on campus. You may be familiar with the fact that at this point we're holding at 3 active cases, which is outstanding for a university. We are fortunate that, again, that our students really want to be there. They're adhering to our policies and protocols, and quite frankly, with tracing, we have 2 students and 1 employee. The students have actually brought the virus back on the campus. So we are trying to tell students it's a bubble, it's safe, please stay there. But we know how important the university is to the economy here. Again, love to see the students walking back and forth and eating and shopping here, and we are doing everything we can to make sure that we make it through this fall semester, because I'm very hopeful that by the time spring comes, we'll be a little less restrictive in our protocols. But thank you to everyone who have given me a warm welcome, and again, anything that I can do, please just let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the shout out about the mask ordinance. Coker's doing a lot better than my other alma mater, University of South Carolina. I think we got a couple of cases over there, I've heard, but anyway, welcome to Hartsville again. Next item on our agenda, item number 4, is presentations. And the first presentation we have is Native Plant Week proclamation. Jennifer, you want to come up and see this, and I'll walk around and just finish up here. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about this, Audubon Society, and that's a great
Yes.
organization.
Thank you. I work for Audubon, South Carolina. We're the state arm of the national organization. And one of our big focuses is creating habitat for birds to help bring back their populations. They've declined by, I think, about 3 or 4 billion birds since 1970, so they're on the decline. And using native plants in our neighborhoods and landscapes and as a way to create green spaces also creates habitat and will help bring them back. So native plants are a great way to have a sustainable yard with lots of habitat.
Well, and I encourage all of you, there's a couple times a year they have a bird count day. I think one's in December, and I can't remember when the other one is. But anyway, it's a great thing to just your backyard to see the birds that come, and you document it. It goes into a national database. It's a really neat thing, but native plants are important, particularly to the hummingbirds. So,
They are, yes.
So I want to present this. We're going to declare South Carolina Native Plant Week.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the next proclamation we have is National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Day. Chief, do you have some folks that want to come up and help receive this? All right. And this dates from 2001, 9/11, if you would. And George Bush, president at that time, approved legislation requiring the American flag to be lowered to half staff on all federal buildings, which includes the U.S. Capitol, the White House, and buildings in our local community. And so what we're doing is we're going to declare October 4th through October 10th as, October 4th is National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Day, and the 4th through the 10th of October as National Fire Prevention Week. Chief, would you like to say a few words to the audience?
Yeah, 9/11, was a tragic time of the year for America. Lost 353 firefighters, countless of other first responders. Took a toll. Well, where we've been, we're still in war now from it. So never forget the fallen firefighters. And thank a firefighter, a first responder, or a police officer out here when you see them. Because every day, we never know if we're going back home or not. So thank you for this.
We are so appreciative for your service and your dedication, and it's more than a job, it's a passion, and I recognize that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. All right, item 5 on our agenda is the manager's update. Ms. Moore?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I have 3 items to update council on this evening. As you know, we just completed our Neptune Islands season. This, as we all know, this was a difficult season because many things were blocked because of COVID. We did finish out the year with a season attendance of 42,308. That is less than last year, obviously. And our season net sales was about $776,000. What this means, though, is that because of the outstanding work by staff to get the numbers to stop us from declining with the cost, we should not have to raise water rates because of the makeup that they did, in addition to finding some other savings by our Public Services Department from savings from that Public Works building. So couple those together, we won't have to raise water rates because of this unprecedented event, which is outstanding news. And we will be meeting to regroup and take lessons learned, and we hope to have season 4 as an even better year than season 2, which was great. So I wanted to thank all the staff for what they did for good night. The second thing is that Canal District, I wanted to give you an update. It is owned by the Hartsville Public Development Corporation, but the city is working alongside with that corporation. And to let you know that asbestos is being identified in all the buildings that have asbestos siding, and it will be abated, and that will be done by the end of October. So once that's done, city staff will be facilitating the demolition of the remaining buildings and any of the trees that are in the way. And that should open it up to, for the present time, to be at least a usable park until we can develop it to be the canal district that we have envisioned so far. I hope to have that done. Definitely, the house will be down by the year's end. If we can have everything cleared and seeded and ready to go by that time, we will as well. But I just want to give you an update. That's where you will see some movement coming up in the future, and you will start seeing some advertisement coming up in the future as well. And then finally, this is for mostly for staff, but we had talked about this in the finance committee meeting. I had a very good meeting with VC3, who is our computer and technological supplier and our IT consultant for the city. We explained some of the issues we're having with them, and we are now working to move away from these thin clients, which is a virtual environment that the city operates in, most of our desktop services, and go to a local environment, so on the PCs themselves. What that means is that the city staff will now have a better and faster, reliable network to work on, and we're hoping to have that accomplished within the next few months. It's going to take some time. They do have to do some data migration already that they're planning on doing. But once that's done, we should be able to move towards a faster, reliable network for the city staff. Because right now it's...
That'll be backed up on site or to the cloud or both?
It depends on which option we go to, but the goal is to have the city in control of its own data and to have it either stored on site or in the cloud, but we will be the ones storing it versus storing it through another agency. Right now, all our data is secure and protected, and we can access it whenever we need to, and if we have to download it, then we could. But should we ever decide to go any other direction, having the data on site or stored cloud-based that we control is much more important than having it through some third party. The main thing is that we have to look at potentially saving money, because we are spending a good bit for a service that we think we've kind of outgrown, and at the same time making it more reliable for our employees. It's taken a lot. I've done a lot of work with the finance department, just got a purchasing agent to pull on this data. It's taken a long time, so again, those are very kudos to them as well. But hopefully we should have some positive news coming up. And coming up with the next budget year is when I plan to have most of this implemented.
Any questions I may? Yeah, very quick. How will that play into the fact that their contract is coming up for renewal here at the end of the year?
Yes, so what we have decided, they did have an auto renew on it. After speaking to VC3, that we've opted to go month to month until we can successfully complete the migration of data and also move away from the VOA environment, which is that thin client environment. As we start peeling those layers back, we should start seeing cost savings on our end. So we'll go month to month as we need to go, and then once we establish a new contract out of the VOA environment, then we will be able to sign a new contract with them and go from there.
That's probably a more reduced rate.
Yes, I mean, the most of the cost is that VOA environment. It's a virtual online advantage. Essentially, it acts as us logging in to a server that then takes a remote desktop to a server in Columbia. It was done to kind of solve some problems in 2011 that the city had with infrastructure. Those problems are no longer really around because fiber is everywhere at this point. And I think the computers have kind of caught up to what we need them to do. And we've also moved a number of our systems and our programs off of desktop to cloud-based software. So all of our finance is cloud, our ADP, HR, and payroll software is on the cloud. So none of these things require the amount of kind of heavy lifting that VC3 was doing for us on the back end. So once we started moving all those things through, and the latest one was with a huge migration at finance states from our CSI to Harris Cloud software. Once that was done, that really opened up the avenue so we can go down this path.
That's great. Good. Thank you. Any other questions?
Question on the water park. It sounds like the attendance dipped by about 50%, but it doesn't sound like the revenue dropped that much. Do you have a little more specifics on those?
Yes, the revenue dropped 50% as well.
Okay.
Well, not quite 50%. We cleared 1.2 million last
Gotcha.
year. And all that money is not profit. It goes into paying off the bond payments. So the water park is not a money maker. It is a service that we provide. It's a resort type thing, a recreation option we can offer. The main thing is that we were able to kind of stifle by going down to closing Monday through Thursday, going to weekends only, and then also some major push that staff put out to increase sales by offering some small discounts for the weekends. And we had one of the highest Labor Days I think we've ever had yesterday. And that was because people were willing to come out and invest back in the community. So it was not the best year by far. It was a terrible year for the most part, but it did mean that we were able to stop it. And then the other kicker is that we do have the month in our fiscal year, we have the month of June. So we still have the month of June, which can historically be our highest grossing year per month. So we still can make that up even more. So if we can clear almost to 1 million, if we can in a month, then that's possible. So that just further helps us not have to pull away from the reserve that the savings we have in our public services. Because all this is tied to our water account. So, but it was a lot of moving parts and a lot of exceptional work by our staff to get this done.
Yeah. So, you're saying that month of June would count towards this past season?
In our fiscal year, it's season 4, but it's our fiscal for this budget cycle. Yeah. So that all that money from June will go to this budget, which is what we need. And hopefully, again, COVID will be wrapped up by that.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, the consent agenda will receive this information only. Under unfinished business, item 6, we have public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4400, an ordinance to lease the property on the corner of Marlborough Avenue and 7th Street to the Hartsville Rescue Squad. I declare the public hearing open. If you'd like to speak to this item, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Seeing no one, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion on ordinance 4400?
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we pass ordinance 4400.
Second.
In motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of passing ordinance 4400, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. There is no opposition. Ordinance 4400 passes. Under new business, item number 7, first reading of ordinance 4402 to lease the property at 231 West Carolina Avenue to Divine Destiny Ministries. Is there a motion on this ordinance?
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we pass ordinance 4402.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem, I'm going to vote against this just in principle only. I'm not to be against any church. I just wish we didn't have downtown street front churches. We have so many other spaces available. I don't know these folks' laws, absolutely nothing to do against them, but just, I know we have one already. When I'm just thinking about the mix downtown, that's all that's involved, but I will vote no on that.
Okay, so noted. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of ordinance 4402, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by nay.
Nay.
Ordinance passes. Item number 8, resolution 09-2001, approval to authorize the city manager to negotiate user agreements in certain situations and other matters related thereto. Is there such a motion on resolution 09-2001?
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we adopt resolution 09-20-01.
Second.
Okay, and I think city manager spoke to this on email. Is that the one that?
Yes, and essentially this for the group is that we will allow the city manager, not just myself, but the city manager, to negotiate in contracts for user agreements for intent for annual usage. Right now, our master agreement only allows for rental fees for single use, and so this will allow for on an annual basis, allow for greater flexibility and negotiating power on behalf of the city.
Okay. We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by no. There is no opposition. Resolution 09-2001 passes. Item 9 on the agenda is resolution 09-2002, approval to apply for South Carolina Rural Infrastructure Authority RIA grant. Is there a motion on this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of resolution 09-2002, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by nay. There is no opposition. Resolution 09-2002 is approved. Item 10 on the agenda, resolution 09-2003, approval to apply for a hazard mitigation grant program, HMGP project. Is there a motion on this resolution?
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we approve resolution 0920-03.
Second.
Okay. And in discussion, my understanding is that this has to do with a generator for City Hall in case of bad weather or an event, so we can man City Hall as well as the emergency preparedness.
Yeah, this is effectively relocating the emergency operations center to City Hall, because if we operate in a building such as fire or in the public services building, there's still ongoing work being done in fire and police, or in public services, and it was difficult at the last one for us to maintain operations in that small space. So City Hall has a lot more room. This generator would be on a natural gas generator and would kick on as soon as something happened. It also allows to maintain services for people such as clean water, assuming internet is out. So we all feel that this is a better location for an emergency operations center.
Will that get placed on the roof, or where does it get placed?
It cannot be placed on the roof. It will be in the alleyway back in the Mentissa alley. There's a small section the city has access to, and we need to soon be craned in to lift in there for the size that we're talking. But it will be on the ground. It will be need to be tested every once in a while, so we'll ready to sell.
Any other questions?
It's natural gas.
Yes, ma'am. And there's two schools of thought: natural gas versus diesel. Of course, diesel you have to refuel it and it has to be diesel available. Natural gas, these things are structured to withstand the disaster events, so natural gas is the preferred option.
There's a very different variation from natural, say, to propane. So that's why I asked if was it natural gas.
Yes, ma'am. It will be a natural gas line directly to the generator.
Works much more effectively.
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I do not recommend that.
Right, that's okay. We've had a motion and a second. All those in favor of resolution 092003, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by nay. There is no opposition. Resolution 092003 is passed. Item 11 on our agenda is a motion to enter executive session pursuant to South Carolina Code FOIA Section 30-4-70A1 for discussion of appointment for the Housing Authority of Hartsville Board. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by no. There is no opposition. We're in executive session. Thank everybody for coming out.